Picture a scenario where you're so unattractive to the group of people you desire to attract that they decide to leave the country you reside in. Well, this is the current situation for modern Western women. Men are opting to follow their own path, pursuing more traditional women in foreign lands because Western society no longer allows men to express their masculinity freely. Western women are concerned because they realize that if men discover more traditional women in the East, there won't be any high-value men left in the West for them to date and marry. Unless these women recognize what's unfolding, they may soon find themselves without partners.
What is it about Western women that repels men to the extent that they choose to explore and settle in foreign countries? Is it due to the emergence of anti-male, woke feminist women who seem solely interested in living off men's wealth and resources? Or is it because men have grown weary of Western women, opting to avoid dating them altogether and trying their luck with women from the East and other nations where gender roles adhere to a more traditional structure? By traditional, I mean a societal structure where men take on the provider role and women focus on homemaking, nurturing their families, and embracing the role of mothers to their children, without feeling compelled to adopt male-dominated roles in society. Western values and women. Men find themselves at odds with Western values and women. Western women have evolved from their historical counterparts, and it's evident. A typical modern Western woman often feels entitled to a man's lifelong commitment, his wealth, and his resources. She anticipates that men should cater to her every desire and live to serve her, essentially working tirelessly for her happiness and fulfillment. Modern Western women advocate for equality, but it's not equality across the board. They desire it selectively. They aspire to hold CEO positions, governmental leadership roles, and key decision-making positions in large organizations. Feminist groups vehemently support their rights to these roles and demand equal pay, believing that men dominate all aspects of life. Yet, the reality is that men do not dominate all fields. Numerous professions, such as nursing and primary school teaching, are overwhelmingly female-dominated. Western women often take men for granted because of their sense of entitlement. They expect men to sacrifice their lives for women's benefit without asking for anything in return. While men bring their all to the table, women typically expect men to shoulder their responsibilities and more without reciprocation. Other than physical intimacy, Western women may not contribute much. Many Western women delay having children during their prime years. They often opt to spend these fertile years partying and engaging in casual relationships. They focus on advancing their corporate careers and climbing the corporate ladder. However, when they realize they're approaching their biological clock, they suddenly desire the same men they previously rejected in their 20s, expecting them to be available for marriage. At this point, they find that those sensible men who focused on building purposeful lives are already married and leading fulfilling lives with their families. These are two significant reasons why men explore foreign countries in search of women with deeper substance. Overseas women. Women in other countries embrace their femininity. Unlike women in the West, who are increasingly adopting masculine qualities and values, women in the East adhere to more traditional feminine roles. They derive happiness from embracing their femininity and accept that it entails being a partner in a relationship with a man who provides for them. They focus on raising their children and creating a comfortable home for the family to lead fulfilling lives. For Western men, these aspects are increasingly challenging to find in their home countries, such as the United States, Canada, Great Britain, Australia, and parts of Europe. In foreign countries, men don't face discouragement from expressing their masculinity, which is pivotal for their well-being. Men thrive when aligned with their inner masculinity, building and leading purposeful lives while providing financial, physical, and emotional security for women and children. Regrettably, achieving this in Western societies has become increasingly challenging. Western societies seem to have reservations about allowing men to express their masculinity freely. There's an unfortunate label attached to masculinity in the West, branding it as toxic and often implying that it overshadows and represses women. In reality, this doesn't hold true. Men are now seeking more traditional women abroad. They are departing from their home countries in pursuit of the right partners elsewhere. The rationale behind this is not surprising. In their home countries, men often hear women voicing dissatisfaction with themselves regardless of their actions. Such high, even unrealistic, standards and inherent bias against men are pushing many to explore dating prospects in other nations. It raises the question of whether this represents a fundamental shift in female ideology or if it's an aspiration women have held deep down but couldn't express in the past. The answer may lie in a blend of both. However, it does seem like women have always had a desire to change the status quo and attain dominance. Western women's true nature has come to light. The notion that women treat men they consider inferior poorly while being subservient to high-value men, eventually adopting an arrogant attitude when they perceive themselves as equals, seems to resonate. This viewpoint unveils what could be the raw nature of women. It also explains why many Western societies are transitioning away from traditional gender roles, where men are leaders and women follow suit. The question is whether they are following the contemporary trend or merely realizing what they've desired all along. The prospect of men seeking partners in other countries is intimidating to Western women. The modern woman's ideology serves her well during her teenage years and into her mid-20s, particularly concerning career and financial success. If she's ambitious and seeks a career without immediate plans for family life, this ideology aligns seamlessly with her objectives. However, if she later wishes to start a family, conflicts arise because this ideology contradicts her desires. She then confronts the reality that she can't have it all, and this is when men often become the target of blame when things don't go as planned. When women's careers, relationships, and overall lives don't align with their aspirations, they often wish for a magical resolution to the equation. Women aren't typically inclined to envision themselves living in solitude as they age. They want someone by their side as a financial safety net so they can enjoy their later years without residing in a nursing home. Ironically, many modern women profess that they don't need a man yet depend on them for various aspects throughout their lives. Men play diverse roles in their lives, from being boyfriends to lovers, and even sugar daddies. This is the reality today, plain and simple. The immense expectations set by modern women often make it exceedingly challenging for men to initiate meaningful connections, causing men to look elsewhere. Passport bros? In essence, men are opting to chart their own paths and seek more traditional women in foreign lands because Western society appears to stifle their expression of masculinity. Western women are concerned about this trend because they recognize that if men continue to discover traditional women in the East, high-value men may become a rare commodity in the West, leaving these women with fewer options for dating and marriage. Unless these women grasp the evolving dynamics, they may soon find themselves without viable partners. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can be the first to know when my new video drops. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.